Myrtle Beach Real Estate Podcast, Market Target, Short Term Shop Plus. I'm here with Bradley on the beach in Myrtle Beach. As a matter of fact, what a wonderful town! I haven't been there in a couple of years, but it's just lovely. So
Changed
catch
a
me
lot.
catch me up on Myrtle Beach. How long have you been there, for instance?
So I came to Myrtle Beach in 2015 the first time. So I've been here 10 years, but lived here permanently for 8 years.
Okay, and what brought you to the area?
Opportunity. I'm actually so obviously originally from England. This is where I came back when I was a student, actually. Started out here in Myrtle Beach as an ocean lifeguard of all things and gradually worked my way into real estate.
Yeah, it's funny how beach towns work like that. I live on the beach down here in Florida, and everybody you meet is probably in real estate. You know, it's not a whole lot of jobs really, and so like I meet a lot of real estate agents that used to be lifeguards or in the beach
Restaurant's a big one. Startup
restaurants,
restaurants.
beach industry of some sort. I got one buddy that was a chair service guy, chairs and umbrellas,
Yeah.
and now he sells, expensive beach homes and things like
Cool.
that. But yeah, it's a great vibe. But yeah, over there on the Atlantic side of the world. So what's doing in your market right now? Where are we at as far as like what's getting buyers to buy, what's getting sellers to sell, all those kind of things?
So the market right now, it's we're not seeing too many new listings, which is unusual, especially investment properties, STR friendly, STR zoned. Um, Essentially what's getting buyers moving is properties that are good condition, priced right. Numbers, I don't get too tied up on the numbers. Myrtle Beach is a big, we got a lot of property managers that have been here for decades. Um, Obviously, we try and push the idea of self-managing because ultimately that's where the money's made. So I try not to get too tied up on the numbers. I look a lot at past clients for real data as far as what can work and what can't work. But we got a few nice listings on the market right now, especially in the condo sector. One bedroom condos are great properties for ROI purposes. But yeah, in general, inventory is not crazy right now.
Okay. Um, but you mentioned in not so many words, permits and regulations, et cetera. Are there certain areas where this is not allowed in your market, or what's the deal there?
So it depends on property type. So if you're looking at condos, you're pretty much going to be limited to oceanfront, which is essentially your best bang for your buck anyway, as far as price point versus return. There are a few golf courses, maybe 5, 10 minutes away from the beach, but you're not going to see the same type of returns you're going to see on the beach because ultimately people come to the beach, they want to see the beach. Single family homes is where the regulations get a little bit more tricky, especially in the city limits of Myrtle Beach. There are not many areas that actually allow single family homes to be used as STRs versus like North Myrtle Beach, for example, where the zoning restrictions are a little bit more lenient. A lot more inventory up there is STR friendly. And then I kind of categorize Myrtle Beach into three areas. You have the city limits of Myrtle Beach, North Myrtle Beach, and then the south end, which is made up of like Garden City, Surfside, Murrells Inlet. Down there, you've got lots of unincorporated part of the county. So again, a lot easier to, as far as regulations, to use them as SDRs. And then there are a few little pockets where they do have some regulations, whether it because it's an HOA or something. Yeah, perfect. So
Let
if
me
you
make this a little bigger for one thing. I can barely see it on my end. And then let's see if we can get zoomed in here a little bit. You want me in the middle or?
so yeah, if you are where you are there, so you can see Myrtle Beach International Airport, which is one of the great things of Myrtle Beach is it's literally downtown. So you are essentially on the south end of South Ocean Boulevard, which is the main street, if you will, that runs along the ocean front in the city limits of Myrtle Beach. Um, and then that area is going to be your prime location for condos. Reason being is entry point's a little bit more friendly compared to North Myrtle Beach, but that's the place where most of your vacationers are going. Families, smaller groups, things like that. They're going to be in the city limits of Myrtle Beach. So if you were to move a little bit further north, and then yeah, so right up here, you got North Myrtle Beach. This is going to be the area where you're primarily going to be looking at single family homes. They do still have oceanfront condos, but single family homes is what's the hot spot for up here. You're looking
I-
at about
Is it fair to say North Myrtle is slightly nicer, or where you know what I mean? Like, paint me a picture.
It's North Meadow Beach is where a lot of your golf courses are, your kind of your higher end golf courses. It's a better route into Charlotte, for example. It's easier to get to North Meadow from Charlotte. So and generally your groups of golfers, things like that, because Myrtle Beach, everyone thinks, okay, you're gonna come here with a family, and but we're also because we have like 85 golf courses or something around there in the area, we do also get a lot of golfers. So North Myrtle Beach is where a lot of those concentration of golfers go, especially in your shoulder season. So it does have the connotation that North Myrtle Beach is slightly higher end, if you will, than Myrtle Beach.
Okay, so is is this more is I mean it's very difficult to general. I'm starting to feel like I'm going to generalize with a couple of
Sure.
these comments, which is very difficult, but is this maybe more second home type of a situation? Is maybe a little more common up here? Are there less rentals?
There
Are
are
there
going to
all
be some, but
rentals?
it's still heavily used as STRs.
Hmm. And
Actually, it's the south end that would be considered more second homes.
okay, and why is that?
I think the area, there's not as many amenities around there, so it doesn't get as busy. So because it doesn't get as busy, I think it's probably more desirable for maybe older folks, retirees, second
Hmm.
homes. Just because, of course, North Myrtle Beach, because there are so many STRs, not to the point where I would say it's saturated, because Myrtle Beach is a vacation town. That's what people come here for. Um, but because there are more up there that are zoned STR friendly, there's just more vacationers in general.
There are no areas where I'm not going to get a permit, or I mean, is it fairly relaxed as far as
Yeah, so you don't actually have, as long as it's STR friendly, which obviously is the agent, I'm going to do all that due diligence for my clients. But as far as permits, you actually don't have to get a permit. You just have to get your license,
like a business
business
license?
license. Exactly.
I got you. Okay, cool. And what would you say is a fair ratio of like what you personally sell, condos versus single family?
I probably would say 60% condo, 40% single family home.
Is it safe to say that if I get below, say, four bedrooms on a house or definitely three bedrooms on a house, it then becomes a condo? In other words, there's not a lot of small houses, I would guess, right?
Yeah, and it's harder to make actually because of price points, it's actually harder to make the numbers work with single family homes once you get into those two and three bedrooms. At that point, you're better off to go with a condo. So it all comes down to budget, and honestly, sometimes personal use too. As investors, it's there's always some element of personal
Oh, absolutely.
emotion involved.
Yeah, especially in this market. This is a market that's perfectly designed for people that come here all the time to scoop something up.
Yeah, I mean
And
it's a great location. We're still drivable to like the Northeast, New York, so we get a lot of clients, vacationers in town from the Northeast, New Jersey, PA, all the way up the coast where they can still drive it because it's not quite as far as Florida. But then again, because our airport is literally downtown, it's super easy to get to.
I love Myrtle. I mean, I ran the Myrtle Beach Marathon, I think probably might have been 3 years ago now. Time
Actually,
flies.
just 2 days ago,
Oh,
actually,
was it? Yeah,
two
it's
or
this
three
time of
days
year,
ago.
right?
This weekend, yeah.
Yeah. It was wonderful. It was I run a lot, and it was I would say it was up there. It was, a top 10
It's
as
very
far as
flat. It's
actual
not much
races.
elevation.
So flat and tons, a very large marathon. There must have been, I would guess, 20,000 people. I mean, I could be
Yeah,
way
there's
off on that, but it's a large marathon.
Yeah, funnily enough, I had clients in town that weekend, and they were watching the runners run by the Airbnb they were staying at.
Yeah, you almost have to kind of wait till the race is over to
Yeah,
get
yeah, you
anything
do. That's
done.
exactly right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, you go through this all the time with the condo thing where people are nervous. They're scared. Oh, I heard condos are a terrible idea because of all the fees. So, what do you say about that?
I say if you look at a single family home, yes, you don't have an HOA fee per se, but if you were to break down all the individual components, your utilities, landscaping, insurance, everything that makes up your monthly expenses, that's essentially what an HOA fee includes. Most of these oceanfront condo buildings, especially the more desirable ones, they're going to include pretty much everything. In some cases, they even include your HO6 insurance, which is your contents insurance. So, although as a single number, it can look kind of daunting, when you break it down and factor in that it does include your insurance, your electricity, your water bill, access to the utility, the amenities, it includes everything. And it's a fixed expense. You're not going to have somebody running your AC down to 60 degrees or running water and your bill's going to fluctuate. You know, every month that bill is going to remain the same.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that bad rap comes from regulations in average Joe city, USA, where a condo building in, say, I don't know, Houston, Texas, is probably not really super psyched for you to rent your unit overnight, you know.
Right.
But in a town like where we're talking about here, where it's, almost all tourism driven, and it's very similar to where, obviously, completely, I'm not even in the same time zone as you, but I am in a beach town that cannot function. The town I live in cannot function without tourists.
Yes, it's exactly this. I actually don't think Myrtle Beach would exist if we didn't have tourism.
100%. This town I live in, all these big fancy houses around here, Miramar Beach, Santa Rosa Beach, Destin, without those people coming in from Birmingham and Mobile
Mhm.
and Tallahassee and wherever else, they're screwed. I mean, it's just going to go straight. Everybody would just disappear and it would fall into the ocean,
Right,
because
right,
and things are not cheap here either. You go, it's a $14 coffee,
right, right.
and you don't make $14 coffee money living in this town. It's coming from somewhere else, and then of course we get into the tourism industry by selling houses, buying houses, or I mean any other number of jobs that are in real estate, cleaners, etc.
Mhm.
So it's a different vibe, and I think that's what
And actually,
people.
on that subject, because we are a vacation town, it's super easy. We have a lot of those vendors, so it's really easy to find cleaners, handymen, stuff like that.
Yeah, you have infrastructure. You've
Yes.
been through the been through it all, and it it pains me to hear easy to find a cleaner because as we all know, it's never easy. But you're right. I mean, if you can't find a good a cleaner that's willing to take the job and do the gig in Myrtle, then you're probably not going to make it. You know. So okay, cool. So um, 60/40 condos, houses, and let's talk price points. In some cases, I can get a pretty nice property for a reasonably fair price in your market, right? This is not some super luxury. I mean, it can be luxury, but
Right.
it kind of
So
runs the gamut. Or
condos, I mean, you're looking at so obviously there are hundreds of condo buildings along the Grand Strand. So there are going to be some of those that stand out more than others, whether it's for amenities, or how well the HOA is managed, location. So generally speaking, I would say you're looking at entry point like low 200s for a one bedroom. That's direct ocean front, like obviously uninterrupted Atlantic Ocean view, up to maybe three-bedroom unit where you may be looking up to 500,000 for a three-bedroom oceanfront condo. Single family homes. If you're looking for a single family home in an HOA that allows STRs, you can get into a three-bedroom for the mid 400s. There's not many of them, but then for a four-bedroom single family home, raised beach house, detached, brand new, saltwater heated pool, the works, you're probably looking at about give or take 850-ish.
hmm. And when you say brand new, the home is brand new?
I'm saying a new build, new construction.
Oh,
Just
this is common?
it's pretty common. I've got some pretty good contacts with builders. Because I specialize obviously in working with investors, I like to try and stay in contact with the people that where I can provide the best products, basically.
Hmm.
So I've got some pretty good contacts with some builders who I stay in contact with just because we have had pretty low
Oh,
inventory.
I see. Oh,
I
yeah,
stay in
that makes
contact
sense.
to try and get some the cream of the crop, basically, the things that are not on the MLS yet.
I see because uh when I hear new construction, I'm like, that's not a deal. It's already full retail, but in your market where maybe there's not a whole lot of things laying around, that does become appealing. I think that's going to start changing a little bit, though.
And
I would assume it's
actually,
going to slow down a little bit.
it's funny though, I guess because of our market, like I've got a friend who's a custom home builder, but he specializes in the STR locations. His new constructions are actually priced better than resale.
Hmm. Interesting. So, can I buy one from him and then sell it for more?
You could, yeah, that's
Yeah,
exactly.
I see. Okay, cool. But in general, if it's not a new home, how old can I expect these homes to be? When were a lot of them built?
So there are some properties in North Myrtle Beach. I mean, again, because it's been around for quite some time, there are some beach properties that were maybe built in even the 30s, for example, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. But generally speaking, if you're looking at raised beach house, you're going to be looking within the last 10, 20 years.
Hmm. Are they all raised?
No, not all of them. You
Some
are
of
going to come
them.
across some traditional style ranch homes, two-story traditional type construction. They're
I
not all
see.
raised.
Okay. But for my purpose, if I'm coming there to buy one, I'm most likely going to be interested in a home that's raised up on piles or
Yeah, I think it comes back to the enemy method. You want to have the property that stands out, that's better than everybody else's. So your general clientele that come in here, they want that beach experience, and the beach experience is more so the raised beach house than it is your traditional ranch home.
when you say raised beach house, it makes me think of erosion. Do we have any erosion issues at all?
We don't. So we've had some rain just come in recently. The beach on the north end did get a little bit of erosion, but it's not to the point like the Outer Banks. And actually, our beaches are replenished pretty frequently. They're doing it in December, actually. But that's actually the first time I've ever properly seen any type of erosion. But it wasn't to the extent where anything was damaged, such as North Carolina. I know some of those houses have been washed away recently.
Yes, there's a couple of spots that are giving the entire area a bad rap.
Yes.
But yes, it's crazy. I mean, you see it on Instagram and the houses going out to the ocean and whoa, oh my goodness. And now it's not like that everywhere, obviously, but
Right.
so when you say replenish the beach, explain that to me. They're coming through and shooting sand
Yeah,
up.
they essentially pump the sand from out at sea and pump it straight onto the beach.
Yeah, but
So,
building it up a little bit more,
yeah,
basically.
exactly.
And they do this on a regular basis or as needed.
As I said, it's generally, I believe I do actually think they have it scheduled to do it. I'm not sure of the exact timeline, but I do know they're doing it this year in December.
I see. Yeah, I don't know how that works here
Generally
either.
speaking, our beach is a pretty good condition.
Yeah, that's wonderful, and that's because they care. The county and and the local government understands that tourism is important, and
Right.
without a nice looking beach, they're not coming. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
so they do the same down here in Destin and 30A, et cetera. And they're doing these weird things. It sounds weird, but they're buying retired cruise ships, large vessels, and sinking them out there for like an artificial reef. And they're
Oh,
saying that
that's pretty cool.
yeah, they're doing that because they say it helps with the beach replenishment situation. In other words, it'll make it so maybe they don't have to replenish as often. But again, I really don't know much about it. The only reason I know this is because I was driving through Mobile, which is a coastal city. It's a big city, but and no beaches there. But they had a retired cruise ship that was famous. It was a very famous boat. It was like it was built right around the It was the USS America, I think, is what it was. and it was built right around the same time as the Titanic. And it was actually, I think it was bigger than the Titanic. And it has just such a, I really did a ton of research on this, Bradley, and I don't remember any of it. Unfortunately, I was so fascinated with this ship. It was beautiful. It reminded me of the past. And we went and actually looked at it. You can't touch it or go on it, but it was right there for you to go drive up to. And the city of Destin bought
Mhm.
it and hauled it down. It was like a museum or something. And it got to the point where they decided that they could not no longer allow humans to go on it anymore. It was getting too bad of disrepair. So the city of Destin bought it to sink it, and it sat in Mobile Bay for quite a while. They have to scrape all the paint off of it. We're off way in a tangent here. I'm sorry. But they had to scrape the paint off of it so that it wouldn't be bad for the fish. And then they hauled it back. I think they're still in the process of doing this, hauled it back to Destin and sunk it. But anyway, long story short, the city cares about the beach. And I think that that's very true because there are places that they don't care or they can't
There are,
afford to do anything about
there
it,
are.
you
Right.
know. And your beaches are beautiful. They're wonderful.
Yes, and it's all public too.
All public, no private, no issues with if I want to go walk on that beach, I can do it anywhere.
Yep. Even if
Okay.
there's a $5 million house in front of it, you can still walk this.
Condo building beach is not private.
Nope.
Wow, that is definitely different than it is down here.
Yeah,
There's
it's all
signs
public.
everywhere. You can't go on this beach. Don't go on there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, funnily enough, my first time in the US was actually in Destin.
Oh really? Just a beach guy.
Yeah, just like the beach.
Nice. I don't blame you. Okay, cool. So can I? What? Let's talk about deals. Are we at a place in the market where I can get a deal? Is it better than it was? I would assume it's better than it was in COVID, as far
It's
as
better than
like.
it was in COVID. It's definitely better than it was in COVID. I mean, the market's definitely, I wouldn't say it's on a decline by any means, but it's definitely become to the point where there's, as a buyer, you're not having to jump on the first thing that hits the market. We generally have a little bit of time. I mean, average days on market this month, 87. So you've got a little bit of time to negotiate. Biggest thing I'm seeing with negotiations, especially condos, seller concessions, which great to help buy down interest rates, pay closing costs, things like that. That's generally what I'm finding.
Okay. And so if the best part is if I'm interested in a home, I'm not fighting 15 other people.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And can what's it take to get a deal? In other words, am I looking for long days on market and like throwing offers just to see what happens and then moving on to the next if the sellers.
You can definitely see if it sticks. I've actually found that the best deals to get the offers on are the ones that have been not on the market for as long. It
Oh,
seems to be
really?
the ones that have sat on the market the longest are the ones where maybe the sellers are still a little bit they're living in an unrealistic they have unrealistic expectations basically, which is generally why they have sat for so long. Essentially, if something's on the market for long,
Mm,
because it's priced wrong.
interesting perspective. I love that. And I guess the only way to find out is to throw offers. And if they
Yeah.
say go to hell, then you know that they're stuck at that number, and that's why it's been for sale for so long.
Essentially, yeah. It actually just happened to one of my clients this morning.
What happened? Good. Well, I want details. No names,
Just
obviously, but
exactly that. He was wondering why there was a couple of units in this particular building. We made a couple of offers of two units side by side, and the sellers absolutely would not budge on their list price. They wouldn't. They just had no give whatsoever. No seller concessions. They wanted what it was list for, and that was it. And that's why it's sat on the market.
hmm, interesting. So what's their plan? Are they gonna pass
Uh,
on it or?
I just wish the agent the best of luck. They're
Uh,
gonna. We've got some backup options. I'm actually gonna go look at a couple of them this afternoon.
yeah, then that's the good thing about the market right now too, is that you got options. You got options. There's not just one unit in the room.
Exactly.
There's a bunch of them. Um, maybe we would like to have a few more in your market.
And that's this particular. He's wanting turnkey. But if you wanted something that maybe needed a little bit of work, which is generally where you're gonna have a little bit more room to negotiate, because Myrtle Beach has a lot of units, but a lot of these owners they just put it on a rental program and never bothered with it again. So if you're looking to manage something yourself or maybe have a smaller boutique management company handle it for you, but ultimately you care about what the unit looks like, you can get a pretty good deal on something that might need a bit of work done to it. And then on the flip side, you're likely going to have a nice bit of equity too. It doesn't cost a whole lot to renovate a 500 square foot one bedroom condo, for example.
Yeah, this is more my style. I would rather buy something that's, not a piece of junk, but something that I can fix up in 30 days and get it rented. Of course, now we're going into slow season at the recording of this podcast, so you got plenty of time. And this is an ideal time for me to go buy something that's
Exactly.
needs a little
Renovate
work.
it, get it marketed, ready for the next season.
Yeah, I like to say you can have cash flow or you can have turnkey. It's difficult to have both. Now, there's definitely a lot of exceptions to that rule.
Mhm.
But in general, I'm usually going for something that I can, rip the bathroom out, redo the kitchen, that kind of thing. And a little one bedroom condo, like you said, it's not that big of a to do. Yeah.
No, it doesn't take that long either. You're looking at a few weeks turnaround.
Mm-hmm. Love it. All right. Um, what else do we need to know? Got my notes here, but anything else you want the listeners to know? How to score a deal in Myrtle, etc.
Uh, so as I say, if you're looking for a deal, find something that maybe needs a little bit of work. If you're concerned about potentially not having the time to organize contractors, maybe you think because you're not local, you can't find something that needs work. You definitely can. I have clients do it all the time. In fact, let me share one with
Yeah,
you
I was
right
actually going to ask you if you could show us a listing or something.
now. I'm gonna, since you've got the screen sharing on right now, I'm gonna go ahead and just send you one that a client of mine recently did. Um, which again, this took 2 weeks, and then I'm gonna send you another one, which
Oh,
is
this
if
is
you
an Airbnb listing. Got it.
Airbnb listing. So this is one that actually a client of mine purchased as a something that needed to be renovated and had the whole thing done because it was cheaper to do it that way.
Cheaper to do it that way than to buy it already done.
Buy it already done, exactly. So they had the whole obviously kitchen ripped out, new cabinets, quartz countertops, tile backsplash,
Great job. Yeah, the flooring is fake wood tile. I would assume that's tile.
correct style.
Yeah, which is great to
Uh,
have.
the fireplace, which is even though Myrtle Beach is it's warm here, we do still get snowbirds. So having the fireplace is great for the colder seasons because ultimately people still like to have a fire, and it looks good in the Airbnb pictures too. Um, Obviously these guys went for more that couples retreat type thing, so did the little wet bar with the wine fridge and things like that. But they did a really nice renovation.
Yes, this is an example of what to do.
Yes,
Looks like they
yes.
kept the original tile or
Did keep
the
the original tub. I think
yep.
they said they plan to maybe replace that next year with a big walk-in tile shower.
I don't mind it. It's maintenance free.
It's maintenance free. It's easy to maintain.
Is there such a thing as a condo that's not? I mean, obviously the backside of the building, but what are your thoughts there? Can I buy a condo with no view and be happy with it?
So you can, but ultimately you've got to think at that point you're competing with the guy who has the oceanfront view. So and you're not going to pay that much less for maybe a street view. So it generally makes more sense to pay the little bit more to get the ocean view because you're going to see the returns.
That's makes me think that man, those street view ones are probably just sitting there doing nothing. Harder to sell, right?
Yes, yeah, for sure. So there's probably going to be more of them.
All right. And then this is a single family here. We got another
This is
from
an
another
example of
client.
a great single family that's got the whole theme and putting green. And this guy is super smart investor. I mean, he did his market research, found what worked for the found what type of people come here. So he put the whole putting green, the whole works essentially.
He's managing himself.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
he actually even has a concierge, like a guy that meets the guest there and shows them around the house, shows them how to work everything. But he's also arguably the top producing investor in Myrtle Beach for his number of bedrooms.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So he's working hard.
Oh yeah.
Been to Management Monday.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. This is a really cool house. They did a good job on this, but not over the top either. It's not,
No, no, not over the top. It's not really crazy beach theme, but it's enough to know you're at the beach.
it's nice. It's not,
Yes.
because I get kind of sick and tired of these ones that are like, they scream Airbnb. You know what I mean? Like, this is an Airbnb. This is just what we're looking at right now is just a very nice house.
Right.
That's what I would rent. I want to rent a nice house, you know,
Right.
but you do got the little putting green there. That's cool. But the backyard is tasteful.
Yes, and that's what you find in Myrtle Beach is most people seem to neglect the outdoor space, but ultimately that's what people want.
And this is great too. You got the Texas style tiki bar.
Uh,
Yeah, this is a nice happy medium. He doesn't have pickleball. He doesn't have a hot tub, but he's got, oh, yes, he does. It's built into the pool.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
different. That's a nice pool. That's $100,000 pool, I would assume.
Yes, yeah, it's like a 30 foot by 16 or something.
All right. This guy's crushing it. All right. Here's a good example again of what to do. This is a very nice home. Got theming in the game room. Cool. All right. Great. Well, if I want to buy one of these, how do I get a hold of you?
Reach me at Bradley at theshorttermshop.com or cell phone 843-957-0158.
There you go. Love it. All right, buddy. Appreciate you. And we'll see you next time. Don't overthink it.
Got it.